surprised. The voicemail was already playing when I walked into my kitchen. Darla, it's your mother. We've decided to give the beach house to your sister. She deserves it more than you. Don't call back. Click. I stood there holding my coffee. The mug was warm. My hand wasn't shaking. That surprised me. The beach house. My beach house. The one I'd paid for 5 years ago when Mom and Dad were drowning in medical debt. The one with my name on every single piece of paperwork. I set the coffee down, pulled out my phone, called her back. She answered on the first ring. I said don't call me. Mom, you can't give Rachel the beach house. Yes, we can. Your father and I already decided. Rachel needs it more. She has kids. You're just... She paused. You're alone. That word, alone. She said it like a disease. You forgot one thing, I said. What are you talking about? I actually laughed, not a polite laugh, a real one. The house you just gave Rachel? I said. It's not yours to give. Silence. What do you mean? I mean you're about to find out exactly what kind of mistake you just made. I hung up before she could respond. My phone buzzed immediately, Mom calling back, then Rachel, then Dad. I turned the phone face down on the counter, let them wonder. Because what they didn't know was going to destroy them. 5 years ago, my parents called me crying. Dad's cancer treatments had drained everything. They were 3 months behind on their mortgage. The bank was sending letters. I was 32. No kids. Good job in medical sales. Decent savings. Rachel was 35 with 3 kids and a husband who worked construction. She couldn't help. We need $50,000, Dad said. We'll lose the house. I gave them 60, but I wasn't stupid. I'd watched my parents favor Rachel our entire lives. She got the bigger bedroom, the car for her 16th birthday. They paid for her wedding, helped with her down payment. Me, I paid my own college loans. Bought my own car at 23. They didn't even come to my graduation because it conflicted with Rachel's son's birthday party. So when they came to me desperate, I helped, but I protected myself. I'll give you the money, I told them, but I'm buying the beach house. They'd inherited it from my grandmother. It was worth maybe $200,000. Needed work. They never used it. We'll sell it to you for $1, Dad said. Just help us. I paid a lawyer $300. Drew up a real deed, filed it with the county. That beach house became mine legally, completely, my name only. They knew this. They signed the papers, but apparently they'd forgotten, or they thought I'd forgotten. My phone kept buzzing. 12 missed calls now. I texted Mom, check the county property records, then we'll talk. I didn't hear back for 2 hours. When Mom finally called back, her voice was different, smaller. Darla, there's been a misunderstanding. No misunderstanding, I said. You gave away my property. Well, technically yes, but we assumed after all these years you'd be willing to... Willing to what? Just hand over a $200,000 house? Silence. Rachel needs it more, she finally said. Her marriage is struggling. She wants to rent it out for income. You don't need the money. That's when I understood. They hadn't forgotten. They just didn't care. In their minds, what was mine was negotiable. What was Rachel's was sacred. Did you tell Rachel it's my house? I asked. We told her we were giving it to her. So she thinks you own it. Darla, don't do this. Don't be difficult. Family helps family. I almost laughed again. Where was family when I paid for Dad's cancer treatment? When I gave you $60,000? We appreciate that, but nothing. The house is mine. Rachel can't have it. Mom's voice turned cold. You're being selfish. I'm being selfish? Yes, your sister has children. Responsibilities. You have a career and no obligations. Stop being spiteful. Spiteful. I hung up. 30 seconds later, Rachel called. How could you do this to me? She screamed. Mom promised me that house. My kids were going to use it this summer. Rachel, it's my house. I don't care. You owe this family. I let her yell for another minute. Then I said something that made her stop completely. You're right. Let's talk about what I owe. I drove to my parents' house the next morning. Rachel's minivan was already in the driveway. Of course it was. They were waiting in the living room. All 3 of them. Mom on the couch, Dad in his recliner, Rachel standing with her arms crossed. An intervention. Sit down, Mom said. I'll stand. Dad cleared his throat. Darla, we need to discuss this like adults. I agree, I said. So let's be clear. I own the beach house. Legally, you can't give it away. Rachel's face was red. You don't even use it. That's not the point. Then, what is the point? Mom snapped. What do you want? Money? We'll pay you for it. I almost laughed. With what money? Silence. That's what I thought, I said. Dad leaned forward. What if Rachel pays you over time? Rent to own? How much can you afford? I asked Rachel. She hesitated. Maybe $300 a month. The property taxes are $4,000 a year. Insurance is $3,000. That's $7,000 total. Your $300 a month doesn't even cover half. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. So you're just going to keep it out of spite? No, I said. I'm going to sell it. Mom stood up. You wouldn't. I contacted a realtor yesterday. It's worth $260 in the current market, maybe more. Darla, Dad said quietly. Please don't do this. That's when I pulled the folder from my bag. I dropped it on the coffee table. What's that? Mom asked. Bank statements, receipts, records of every dollar I've given this family in 10 years. I watched them stare at it. $60,000 for Dad's treatment. $12,000 when Rachel's husband lost his job. $8,000 for Mom's car repair. $4,000 for... Stop, Rachel whispered. Rachel picked up the folder with shaking hands. She opened it. Her face went pale. You kept track of everything? Every single dollar, I said. Mom looked at me like I'd slapped her. That's what family does. We help each other. Right. So when do I get help? Nobody answered. That's what I thought, I said. You take and take, but when I say no once, I'm selfish. Dad's voice was quiet. What do you want from us? I sat down. Finally. I want you to understand something. I don't exist to fund Rachel's life. That's not fair, Rachel said. You're right. It's not fair. None of this is fair. I pulled out my phone, opened my notes app. Here's what's going to happen. I'm keeping the beach house. You will never ask me for it again. If you do, I sell it immediately and you get nothing. Nothing? Mom's voice cracked. Nothing. But if you respect my decision, I'll let Rachel's kids use it 2 weeks every summer. Free. Rachel looked up. Really? On one condition, you acknowledge in writing that the house is mine, that it was always mine, that you have no claim to it. Mom shook her head. This is ridiculous. Then, I sell it Monday. I stood up to leave. Wait, Rachel said. I'll sign. Mom turned to her. Rachel, don't. Mom, stop. Rachel's voice was tired. She's right. We've taken advantage of her for years. I didn't expect that. Nobody moved for a long moment. Then Dad said, There's something we need to tell you. My stomach dropped. What? He looked at Mom. She looked away. The beach house wasn't the only thing we tried to give Rachel. I sat back down slowly. What are you talking about? Dad rubbed his face. He looked older suddenly. Your grandmother's inheritance. When she died, she left money, $40,000 split between you and Rachel. I know. We each got 20. No, he said. You were supposed to get 30. Rachel was supposed to get 10. The room tilted. What? Mom finally spoke. Your grandmother specified it in her will. She knew Rachel struggled with money, thought you were more responsible, so she left you more. I couldn't breathe. We changed it, Dad said. We told you it was split evenly, gave Rachel half of yours. $10,000. They'd stolen $10,000 from me. When? My voice didn't sound like mine. 8 years ago. 8 years. I'd never known. Rachel was crying now. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I looked at her. She looked genuinely shocked. You really didn't tell her? I asked my parents. Mom shook her head. We thought it was better. Easier. Easier for who? No answer. I stood up again. My hands were trembling now. I need the documentation, bank statements, the original will, everything. Darla. Everything. Or I'm calling a lawyer tomorrow. Dad nodded slowly. I'll get it. He left the room, came back 5 minutes later with another folder. I took it without looking inside. Is there anything else? I asked. Any other lies? Any other money you stole from me? Silence. That was answer enough. I walked to the door. Darla, please, Mom said. We're still your family. I turned around one last time. No, you're people who share my blood. There's a difference. I left, but I wasn't done. Not even close. I didn't go home. I went straight to my lawyer's office. Same one who'd handled the beach house sale 5 years ago. His name was Martin. He was 60 and didn't waste time. I showed him everything. The beach house deed, the inheritance documents, my records of every dollar I'd given them. He read in silence for 20 minutes. Then he looked up. You have a case for financial elder abuse. They converted your inheritance. That's legally theft. I don't want to sue them. Then what do you want? Protection. I want everything I own protected so they can never touch it again. He nodded. I can draft an estate plan, make sure nothing goes to them, but there's something else you should consider. What? That $10,000 they took? You can demand repayment, with interest. It's nearly $14,000 now. I thought about it. Send them a letter. Formal demand. 30 days to pay, or I pursue legal action. Done. The letter arrived at my parents' house 4 days later. Mom called me screaming. You're suing us? I'm asking for my money back. The money you stole. We can't afford this. You should have thought about that 8 years ago. She hung up. Rachel texted me. Please don't do this. They're freaking out. I replied. They had 8 years to tell me the truth. They chose not to. 2 weeks passed. Then a check arrived in the mail. $14,000. From Rachel. Her note said, I took a loan against my house. This isn't right. I'm sorry they did this to you. I'm sorry I benefited from it. I stared at that check for an hour. Then I did something that surprised even me. I deposited Rachel's check. Then I transferred $15,000 into her account. The $14,000 she'd paid me, plus an extra $1,000. I called her. Darla, she sounded scared. I got your check, and I sent the money back. Silence. Why? Because you're the only one who took responsibility. You didn't have to do that. She started crying. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know what they did. I believe you. We talked for an hour, really talked, for the first time in years. She told me how exhausting it was being the favorite, how Mom and Dad expected her to be grateful, how she felt guilty every time they helped her. But not me. I always thought you didn't need them, she said. You were so independent, so strong. I needed them, I said quietly. They just never noticed. 3 months later, I invited Rachel and her kids to the beach house. We spent a week there. Her kids loved it. She cried when she saw the ocean. Thank you, she said. You're welcome. My parents never apologized. Not really. Mom sent a text that said, we did what we thought was best. I never responded. I changed my will. Everything goes to Rachel's kids, now. The beach house, my savings, all of it. Not because I forgive my parents, but because those kids deserve an aunt who shows up. I kept the beach house. I go there sometimes alone, sit on the porch, watch the waves, and I finally understand what my grandmother knew all along. Family isn't about blood. It's about who stands up when it matters.